Welcome back to another one. Did you know Australia's biggest export is boomerangs? I bet you didn't know that our biggest import is also boomerangs. If you didn't get it, it'll come back to you. All right, let's get to it. We're gonna hit two topics in one go, but they're two sides of the same coin. So let's see how we go. Here we go. Oh no, psych, we're just doing one today. Tomorrow's one is two. All right, so today we're talking about a census, sample or self-selected sampling. Now, all you need to know is these are different ways we can collect data, and it's talking about how we collect or who we collect our data from, okay, or how many people maybe is a better way to put it. It's how we choose where we collect data from. Now, a census happens once every couple years. I think in Australia, I think it's every 4 years. Don't quote me on that. But essentially, a census means that you survey the whole population, okay, everybody, all of them, no one's left behind. Now, what's good about a census? It's detailed and it's accurate, of course, because you're getting information on everybody. But because you need information from everybody, it's expensive, it's time consuming. Those are some of the drawbacks of a census. So, what some people do is instead of um, asking questions to everyone, what they'll do is they'll pick a sample, which is just part of the population. So I'm not going to ask the whole Australia. I'll just ask these certain group of people. And for these questions, it's like the detail and the accuracy varies. So sometimes it can be accurate, sometimes it could be very skewed and what we say bias. Good, it's cheaper, it's normally less time consuming. But yeah, as I said before, it has some level of bias, which means that I can almost tilt the data to say certain things. It's not a good example. Hey, I'll talk more about bias. There's some questions on that later. Now, there's also something called a self-selected sample. And these are where the participants choose to be a part of it. So say, for example, there's one of those like, tell us about your shopping experience. And then we don't have to, but we can choose to opt in if we want to. That's what it means. So self-selected sample means that people can choose to be part of a survey. All right. Now, based on that, what's the best method? Which method is most suited to find? If I wanted to talk about the average age of people in New South Wales, this one, you definitely want to do a census. You want to do everybody. Okay, that will give you an average age. Now, if I'm talking about a favorite cereal, I'm not going to ask all of New South Wales to tell me their favorite cereal. That is overkill. This one here is definitely best suited to a sample. Okay, so that is that. Now, the other question was talking about finding possible bias. And so bias, again, is just a potential unfairness to the data. Okay, so let's say, for example, if I interview and the question I'm trying to find is I'm trying to find the average income and I'm going to stand near a theater, okay, in the city. So it's fancy. I'll say a theater in the city. Let's add that. In the city. We'll be fancy. Okay, so all you need to know here is being in the city. That's a bias. The city probably means generally a higher income. The theater is also it's a pretentious thing. I'm not saying poor people can't go to the theater, but I'm saying generally it's a rich people thing. Does that make a little bit of sense? So we're just kind of making assumptions, just like, look, this could probably skew our data a little bit. It's probably not going to be a great indicator of, I don't know, the average income of people. If I stand near the theater in the city, probably not going to be the most accurate. Uh, Usually for rich people. How do I say that? I'll say usually for the higher class. How about that? By the way, don't cancel me if you are going to the theater. I'm not calling you pretentious. Theater is great. I'll put that out there. But usually it's kind of like, yeah, it's normally a black tie event. It's normally you dress up. Just saying that there's going to be some bias if you're standing near a theater and you're asking people around there. You're going to get a different group of people. It won't be a good mix. That's all I'm saying. All right. Don't cancel me. All right. That's probably it. Yep. Great. See you guys in the next one. All right. Bye bye.